Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Grant Ellis, The Bachelor's leading man, has picked his last two, Lisha Gare and Juliana Pasquarosa, but there are clues that he may not be ready to settle down. Throughout the season, Grant met 25 women, including Alexa Godin, who won the first impression rose and a coveted one-on-one date. Meanwhile, Carolina Quixano created drama with her repeated self-victimization and doubt about Grant's feelings, making it easier for him to find the more powerful connections. However, despite Juliana and Lisha appearing to be excellent final selections, Grant's erratic actions throughout the season indicate that he may not be ready for an engagement. Despite instances that demonstrated Grant's devotion, his behaviors cast doubt on his commitment. For example, Troy Costello won a one-on-one date after being named MVP of the basketball group date, but he never pushed their relationship further. Similarly, 26-year-old Natalie Phillips won the group date rose, but was never invited on a one-on-one date, despite Grant's glowing remarks about her during their one-on-one conversation. Given these trends, it's unclear whether Grant is actually prepared to settle down. Here are some symptoms that indicate otherwise. Grant has been courteous and understanding to the candidates, even during their most vulnerable moments. He's been open about his adventurous and optimistic attitude on life, even accepting opportunities like finding love on a reality TV show. Wink. The 31-year-old day trader, born on December 15, 1993, possesses attributes consistent with his Sagittarius temperament. He does, however, have certain flaws, as do all signs. At times, his decisions appear casual and excessively accommodating, making his actions contradict his statements. He kept Zoe McGrady following a last-minute conversation before the hometown show, despite having stronger connections elsewhere. After the hometowns episode, Grant sent Dina Lupenku home after she failed to meet with her family, since some refused to participate. However, during The Bachelor, Women Tell All, he stated that this was not the cause. Meanwhile, despite their tenuous relationship, he saved Zoe, which made her fantasy suite selection surprising. The following week, he sent her home, saying that they hardly knew each other and were not ready to marry. This pattern verified my observations about Grant's proclivity to accommodate everyone, and in doing so, he carelessly pushed others away without recognizing it. Audiences were introduced to numerous ladies who had deep connections with Grant, but he frequently let other contenders intervene. For example, Rose Song from The Bachelor was caught up in early turmoil with Carolina. Rose told Carolina that during Carolina's dance on week 3's group date, Grant mentions that he was thinking about her. This put Carolina into a tailspin, prompting her to face Grant, who denied everything and then addressed Rose. Rose truly felt that was what he had said, but after studying the video, Grant's true comments were, "The whole dancing thing on stage and everything, I was thinking about you." Although Rose apologized, Grant was clearly frustrated by the event, especially since it harmed his reputation. Rose, heartbroken, planned to commit suicide, to which Grant did not appear to object. While he did not send her home, his constant attempts to console Carolina and worry about his image led to their demise. Instead of assuring Rose of his interest, he allowed her to go away. This raised the question of whether Grant was more concerned with how people perceived him than with their connections, especially because many admired how he handled Carolina's persistent complaints to the other women rather than confronting them directly. Despite the controversy, he continued to pursue Carolina while disregarding his other connections. As the climax approaches, Reality Steve predicts Grant will propose to Juliana. However, whether it is for the correct reasons is questionable. Grant had previously boasted about his decisiveness, but for the first time, he admitted to his family that he was having trouble deciding between Lisha and Juliana. Given Grant's indecision, it is logical to expect that anyone he chooses will not endure. Jesse Palmer corroborated my assumptions in an interview with US Weekly, adding, "Normally, I think, our leads have a little bit more definition, a lot more clarity, moving into the final day. And I believe that is how conflicted the Bachelor's leading man had embarked on a journey of love with 25 women, narrowing them down to the final two, Lisha Garrett and Juliana Pasporosa. Yet signs persisted that Grant might not be ready for the lifelong commitment and engagement required. Throughout the season, his erratic actions and conflicting behaviors painted a portrait of a man who was enthusiastic about love, but hesitant to fully embrace it. From the very beginning, the season had been filled with unexpected twists. Alexa Godin, who won the first impression rose, was an early frontrunner after receiving a coveted one-on-one date. However, despite their chemistry, Grant's attention shifted to other women, leaving Alexei feeling sidelined. Meanwhile, Carolina Quixano emerged as a polarizing figure. Her self-victimization and persistent doubts about Grant's feelings led to confrontations that disrupted the group dynamic. In contrast, Juliana and Lisha appeared to be strong contenders for Grant's heart, but the inconsistencies in his actions raised concerns about his readiness to settle down. Grant demonstrated moments of devotion, yet his decision-making often contradicted his words. Chloe Costello, for example, shined during a basketball group date, earning an MVP title and a subsequent one-on-one date. Yet, despite their strong connection, Grant failed to build on their foundation. Similarly, Natalie Phillips, a 26-year-old contestant who had a heartfelt conversation with Grant during a group date, received the group date rose. However, she was never invited on a one-on-one date, despite his glowing remarks about her. One of the most perplexing decisions came when Grant kept Zoe McGrady in the competition following a last-minute conversation before the Hometowns episode, despite having stronger connections with other women. This raised questions about whether Grant was making calculated choices or simply avoiding confrontation. The situation grew more complicated after the Hometowns episode when Grant sent Dina Lupenko home. Initially, it was believed that her family's refusal to participate played a role in his decision. However, during The Bachelor, Women Tell All, Grant denied that this was the sole reason, further muddying the waters of his motivations. Zoe's journey with Grant became even more baffling when he took her to fantasy suites, only to eliminate her a week later, citing their lack of depth and readiness for marriage. The decision reinforced the notion that Grant struggled with making definitive choices. While he claimed to prioritize meaningful relationships, his actions suggested a pattern of indecisiveness that left many contestants feeling confused and discarded. His habit of accommodating contestants rather than making firm decisions became evident in early episodes. Rose Somk, a contestant who had a strong initial connection with Grant, found herself embroiled in drama when she unintentionally ignited conflict with Carolina. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.